try and move away from the noise of the strimming. We're approaching our last booking at Towford. I'm just walking away from the strimming down to the campsite. House is behind me. We've got people strimming out on the driveway and round the house, just tidying up. Since we got our ride-on mower, we've kind of neglected the bits that the ride-on mower won't get to, because the people that use the ride-on mower are the people that also strim. So we've got the middle group down and they're strimming. It's not something that they normally do because the other people do it, you know, the younger group, but they're strimming, so good for them. Our aim today is to get that strimming done, to tidy up around the house and to move or make possible the ability to move our composting toilet. So there's 3 people on that and 2 people on grass maintenance, we'll call it that. I haven't checked the septic tank, which is just there. You can just see the lid of it in the middle of it there, all rusty and minging. Good stand on that, by the way. We're working on the basis that it's not going to empty itself. I really don't think it will. We're going to move the shed that we built and make bigger the hole that we dug so that it lasts a bit longer. That's the plan for today. So this is a steel, no, what is it? It's a steel FS 55, and we got this from Sheriff's outside Harrington, which is near where we live, and it's never worked properly. It's never ran. We had it in at Border chainsaw place, and they serviced it. We saw what was going on with it. Basically, when you go to start it, it just bogs down when you try to rev it. It just does. That's all it does, and it's always done that. It's rubbish. It is the worst thing we've ever bought, and it was brand new when we bought it, and it's only what, 3 years old, and we've maybe had an hour's worth of use out of it. I used it in my garden after it came back from Border Chainsaw and More, and it actually worked okay, but it's gone back to doing what it's doing, and I don't know what I'm doing. I've RTFM'd, read the manual. What it says is squeeze this in, move to start, and then hold, and that's fine. The choke should go to the closed position if it's cold, but it's not. It has been running, so I'm going to leave it in the open position and I'm going to crank it. I've primed it. I don't need to do that. It says 5 times, but I've done that. Try it with the choke closed. I've spent hours trying to figure out what's going on with it, and the last service for it, that was like 80 quid, and it's just, I don't know what's going on with it. It just doesn't work. There's obviously something, and the fuel that's in this is the same as the fuel that you're hearing with these other machines, so it's not the fuel. It idles alright, it seems to idle okay, but as soon as you go on the throttle, or just don't do anything at all, it conks out. So that's how it's supposed to sound when it's that high pitch, that's what it's supposed to sound like. But then when you come off the throttle and then try and go back on it, it just bogs down and dies, and then it won't start again. What is going on with it? This is what it's doing, and it does it all the time, and it's clearly not working. So just put it in the bin. I think we should probably let's just put it in the bin. Let's just bin it and forget that it ever happened. Why strim when you can mow? Just use your mower as a strimmer. It does tend to go everywhere though. I'm covered in nettle juice. I'm literally a nettle at this moment in time. The difference between a push mower and the ride-on mower is the push mower does do a much better cut. And we hardly used these this year. We've just went round on the ride-on mower. But the downside of that is that we've actually not mowed as what we normally mow. It's not quite as neat as it, not that it's ever actually neat, but we just don't go into the places that with a push mower, that because you can't go there with a ride-on mower, so we just don't go there at all. Strictly between you and me, I detest cutting grass. I don't like cutting grass. It's just tedious, but there is a certain satisfaction in the lines and the neatness of it. And this is the thing, this is why I don't garden, is that gardens are inherently untidy. There are no definite lines in gardening. I know that you can get that if you go down to like these posh gardens, but they're fake, and it requires like constant attention, like daily, like 20, and I cannot be arsed. I can't be arsed. You can never get a garden neat. It looks okay from a distance, but when you look a bit closely, it's like, oh, that's squint, or that's overlapping into that, or that's not a defined line there, that's untidy. I hate that. I hate it. Well, this is a good place to camp. The ground's soft, it's nice and flat, kind of sheltered. Bit creepy with the house looking over your tent while you sleep, but you know, it's actually a good place to camp. And also, if you're camping here as a leader, you can see down onto the rest of the campsite. So we've shifted our composting toilet forward about 3 feet. Daniel, Sam and Thomas have put these planks on the side here. So what we've got here is a composting toilet come sedan chair. I think it's magnificent, I really do. I like the idea that you could be sitting in there having a poo and the hole might be filled up and you're thinking, oh, that hole's filled up. And all you need to do is summon some slaves or serfs and say, I say, you with the muscles, lift me to another hole. And that's what these will do. So what we're doing is we're making our hole deeper. They've not really started, but we're making the hole deeper because we don't want to have to move this too often in that hole. It's an impressive hole, but it's not deep enough. We figure that, I reckon that could be a lot deeper than that.
Yeah, maybe not that much, but maybe it's progressively losing it. Maybe, I don't know, it's just kind of impossible to do. Oh, sorry.
Why'd you go quiet when... Is it because I'm here or the camera or everyone on YouTube? Well, the 60 people that look at her.
That was my stage fright. Yeah. Hi.
Let's go around and have a look at the hole. The hole for the composting toilet. I must admit, I did Google this, but composting toilets, when you Google YouTube it, you get all the ones about like just with a bucket, and then you remove the bucket when it gets like a bit full with jobbies and sawdust in it. And then you're supposed to put it on a compost pile and let it fester for 6 months and then use it to fertilise your roses. Well, we don't have any roses, we just want to poo in a hole and bury it. A composting toilet isn't the right term. So what is the right term? I can't just call it a hole in the ground. A camp toilet, I don't know, an outhouse, who knows? But let's have a look. So in terms of the shape of the hole, it's really difficult to dig a hole that's like 2 or 3 feet in diameter and 6 feet deep, because you have to be in the hole when you're digging. And it's complicated, it turns out. So let's have a look. I've put Thomas in charge of this, and he's here, and he's going to describe to us what's happened, what we're doing.
Okay, so there's like a big massive hole, and Sam is here digging it as we speak. Is the camera light?
Hold on.
Dylan, is it working? Right, so this is a big giant hole where all of the excrement is going to go for the composting toilet. And here we can see Sam currently at work. Sam, do you want to say anything to the camera?
No.
Oh, okay. He's absolutely having a great time, and he's doing this in his own free will. He honestly couldn't be happier. Dylan, have you got anything to say about this?
What? Why are you giving it to me?
Alright, Thank you for watching, guys. Feel free to cut all of that.
Cinema.
No, that's all going in uncut, unedited. That's going in. I've only seen Sam dig.
No, he's switching. Like whenever you come here, I swear it switches. It's crazy. He's just gone in.
Do you know, just looking at you there, Thomas, it's quite sun-dappled here. It's quite the view with the sun coming through the trees there.
Majestic. Yeah.
So the issue with the hole is that it can't be too wide. It can only really be deep. Otherwise, the whole thing will fall into it. So if you have a poo in the hole and you're throwing some sawdust, the sawdust needs to go over the poo that you've done. Otherwise, it honks, it stinks, and it won't like break down. But if you poo in the hole and the poo rolls to the back of a longer hole, then you're not going to be able to get sawdust on it. So it defeats the purpose of like putting. Do you see what I mean? Answers in the comments below. Tell me how we're supposed to do this. Sam here is digging a hole, potentially for no reason. He looks really happy, he looks really content. Well, I can't see because his face is pointed into the hole, but in any case, what do you think? So one of the things that we do is we don't obviously have water on site. So we've got the clown tax in Murray that when we go down to the river to fill the water container. So we're going to do that now. Incredible Hulk in the back there, going down a new Ragnarok or whatever it's called. This is one of the simple pleasures of being down here, and honestly they're all like 16, 17. Thomas in the back there is going to be 18 in 6 months time, and they just don't get to do this kind of thing these days anymore. You can do it on a video game, but it's not the same, and these things don't go quickly, and you'd have to go some to count one. It's the simple things. So unhitching trailer, so you see the wee trigger thing down there under the trailer. Pull that trigger up and hoik that whole thing up and then lift it up. There you go, that's off. That's us done. So the hole is a lot deeper for the composting toilet, and we've also turned it into an impromptu accidental sedan chair. So this is what it looks like now. We've got these handles on the side. It's very heavy, and also the front with the door on it is like twice as heavy as the back, so you have to be really careful when you're lifting it because it feels like the whole thing's going to count forward. That's where the hole is, and it is sizable. Urgh. That's a decent sized hole. That's got to be enough. Surely got a lot of jobbies in there. Surely that's a lot of jobbies. Come on now. And they do waste away, don't they? That's a big hole. It's almost 5 feet deep. It's 5 feet of jobbies. Anyway, quite happy. Right, so that's that. We've cut grass. I'll not show you that. That's just cut grass. We all know what cut grass looks like. We didn't cut all the grass, but we'll finish that off next week. We bought in these 12-volt shower units. So they're like 12-volt shower pump things, and you put one end into a bucket of water, and then you've got a button and a shower head, and you connect it to a 12-volt car battery. And neither of them are working. I don't know if the batteries have gone flat. I don't think so. I don't think that the shower units are that clever that they can sense when a voltage is too low. That doesn't make sense to me. So we're taking all of that stuff home. I'll charge the batteries anyway because they have had a fair bit of use. And I'll need to test the shower units. Any comments, you want to be involved, like and subscribe. Put a comment below if you've got any questions, any suggestions about how we might improve the grounds. If you work for Borders Council, can you please have a word with yourself about the lease? That would be really useful. I emailed at the beginning of the week, no response. So I'm just going to go and visit them, I think. Come round with the mob. We'll go on our lawnmowers and we'll pick at them. Right, that's it. See you in the next video.